is Creepy Soup on the PFC Entertainment Network.
This episode is rated M for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of the PFC Entertainment Network or any of the affiliates that make this show possible.
This is the Pure Fury Creations Entertainment Network.
Hello, and welcome to episode 131 of Creepy Soup on the PFC Entertainment Network. I am Jill.
I'm Judy. The hump trophy.
There we go. How are you, workaholic?
I'm tired.
Yeah. This is another one where, again, we really haven't seen each other too much since recording last.
Right. Yeah.
So, but we're going to go have some mom-daughter time tonight.
Yep.
Oh, you seem so fucking excited.
I'm sorry. I'm trying hard not to laugh. I'm sorry.
I could have grabbed you more cough drops, but I'm not doing it now.
I still have the one you gave me. I've been babying it.
All right, then. Yep, we have, our friend Christy is throwing a Krampus-themed party tonight, and I'm so excited. Originally, I wasn't going to be able to go.
Dude, I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna wear.
I know what I'm wearing. I'm going to be cute. Well, I wear jeans, sweats, not jeans.
That's all I own.
I do leggings. Well, I've got the skirts that look like the flannel shirt from the 90s.
Yeah, that is cute. I like that.
I got that, and then I even bought those, like, the legging tights that look like your legs, but they're fleece-lined, so I can wear it in the winter. I'm excited.
Flesh-colored leggings?
Well, they're tights, but kind of like, I don't know. They look like your legs with maybe a nylons over them. You'll get it. You'll see. And I'm gonna wear my tan knee-high boots and look all cute. So, we have to do a gift exchange, and this is one of them right there. It's a Snackle box.
I want one of those. Can't you give her something else?
Well, when it's your turn to pick, choose that.
I'm not drinking coffee.
Yeah, she's drinking ice water.
I like ice water.
She being a little biatch. This is actually my second cup for the day. I was gonna make... Okay, so I have 2 coffee pots, technically. One is like the single serving cup, and then it's got the little blender on the side, so you can make like the blended ice drinks. What the fuck? And then I've got...
That's what you get for drinking coffee.
Fuck off. A flex brew that you could do a single cup or the pot. Well, I figure instead of keep making single cup, I want to clean out the coffee pot side because I don't really use it that often. And so I put some vinegar in there, ran that through, and then now I've done like the water, and it's still getting really gross stuff coming out of it. So
I know, because last time you used it, wasn't it when Grams came over?
I think so, and it was like right after I bought it. But yeah. So it's pretty gross. Bentley said it looks like toenails.
That's nasty.
Yeah. So,
I'm good on that.
So yeah, we got plans for tonight, and probably come home early because it's supposed to be a wintry mix, but we'll see. I want to stay long enough for like the gift.
But her store's close enough by where we would still.
No, it's at her house. It's not the store.
Oh,
and you'll love her house. It's like 200 years old, and it's creepy as fuck.
I'm not gonna want to leave. Maybe I shouldn't go.
They painted the outside black.
Oh, the Addams Family.
It is. Her house is fucking gorgeous, inside and out. Gorgeous house. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous house. I wish she'd adopt me. Even though I think we're the same age. I think she might be a year younger, year older. I don't know. But yeah. So because this one is a long one, and we really don't have lives right now outside of work, you want to get into it?
Mm-hmm. No, because it's so long. Is there going to be like a part 2?
No, I'm just going. I'm doing it.
Diving right in.
I'm diving right in, and we're just gonna go through it. This is one I had heard of the movie but never watched it. I did start it the other day at work, and as I've said before, when I do watch something at work, I don't necessarily watch it. I listen. Well, in the movie, I'm hearing a lot of, and I'm like, no, 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 because anyone driving by can see what I'm watching on my phone, and a lot of graphic stuff in there. So I was like, no, no.
So now they probably think you watch porn while you're at work.
Probably, because like when I went over to like turn it off, it was a very graphic scene. But the movie is called Bully.
Never seen it.
Well, I haven't either. I do still want to watch it. And of course, like I've said before, I will never use a Hollywood movie as a source of information, because of course they take artistic liberties and things like that.
Change stuff.
Yeah. And our two main characters in this story are Bobby Kent, who in the movie is played by Nicholas Stahl. You would know him if you saw him. He's been on SVU, so I know you would know him. And Brad Renfro. I loved Brad Renfro. R.I.P.
Did you just say you got a pee?
No, I said R.I.P. Because
fuck.
he died. I loved Brad Renfro in The Client.
Okay.
I loved him in that movie. Yeah. So this is the story of, I mean, there's a whole cast of characters in this bitch. But like I said, the two main ones are Bobby Kent and Marty Puccio. And like I said, I had heard of the movie and I knew it was based on a true story, but it wasn't until TikTok, because I appear to have fallen on like true crime TikTok or paranormal TikTok or witchy TikTok. I don't know why. And it was Marty's daughter kind of telling the story and saying how the movie Bully, and I'm like, oh, that's what the movie Bully is based on. So,
Porn?
Well, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Make sure.
So, okay.
Make sure he does viewer discretion is advised. Or no references.
Yeah, that's also, okay. So, my story starts here. We're
going to be here all day, guys.
No. Well, it'll go pretty fast. It's handwritten, and a lot of this is shorthand, so it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Megan_Marty is her name on TikTok. It's Marty Puccio's daughter. Find her. I believe she's got a whole playlist on her dad. I followed her for a while, and then she just kind of got unhinged. But I did look her up today for this information, and then
everybody loves Unhinged.
Well, okay. So we are. My information came from the series Murder Among Friends, Season 1, Episode 2, called Murder Pact. It is on Discovery Plus. There's a few other things it's on. I like watching shit on Discovery Plus because I did pay the extra $1 to not have ads. I fucking hate ads.
Passport share with me?
Maybe.
Okay.
So we are going down to Hollywood, Florida, by the Everglades.
There's in Hollywood, Florida.
Yes, there is a Hollywood, Florida.
I don't get out much.
And now, okay, I'm not a gatorologist, So I just figured alligators were like,
Mom.
I mean, I know they're big, but I didn't know they were 500 pounds.
You've watched Lake Placid. Those are real. I don't know if they use real live alligators in the movie, but
they use real alligators. No, they didn't. Maybe for the scene, not the attack scenes.
I hope you burn a couple taste buds, bitch.
Me too.
Anyway,
I know they get big.
the alligators from Asia are that huge.
Do you mean crocodiles?
Alligators, crocodile, what the fuck ever?
Okay, anyway, I didn't know they got that big. Okay? Let's just leave it at that. Okay, so one of our main characters is Marty Puccio. He was described, fuck off, I will punch you in the head. Marty was described as good looking, tall, and you know what? I was gonna do pictures and do screen shares. But this is going to be long enough, and I always hold on a minute, So no, we're not doing screen shares. Definitely look this case up. It is wild.
Wow.
It is wild.
Episode is on.
It's wild. It's a wild one. So
God, take a Xanax,
tall. Maybe later. When I'm trauma bonding with some strangers. He went to the gym and he loved to cook. So Marty and Bobby met at like 6 years old. They were best friends. They were inseparable. Just besties.
Just besties.
They liked to make horror films. And they kind of wanted to be like filmmakers. Which we will see later on. But they like to make horror movies. And actually that's kind of how this episode opens up. It shows them like sitting at a table, then pulling out a gun and shooting. It's fucking weird. And then that's when they talk about like films, like horror films, macabre kind of thing. So they're friends since third grade, inseparable. In their little films, Marty always played the bad guy, which is kind of the opposite of what he was in real life. Buff Bobby, because they were both kind of gym rats kind of thing. So he was known as Buff Bobby, was a lady killer, because he is described as short, muscled, friendly, polite, charming, sociable. And
Short.
Really? Are you going to talk about short people?
He must have a kickstand.
Ow! What? So, Bobby was the alpha dog in their friendship. And we will find later that he is, well, the movie based on this case is called Bully, so. Bobby feels it's important that Marty know that he is the boss in their friendship. And Marty is more of a follower. Marty started dating 18-year-old Lisa Connolly. She had kind of body image issues because she wasn't like the typical blonde Florida girl. She was known for her red hair. In fact, in the documentary, they talk about red hair Lisa, redhead Lisa. So that they describe it like that several times, and I'm like, that's stupid. So Lisa worships Marty, and in his younger pictures, he is quite the looker. And you know what? I don't know when this took place. Let me look it up real quick.
Out of all the things that you have on those papers.
Right. None of them are dates, right? Well, 1993. July 14th, 1993 is, well, that's when, it happens. So Lisa worshiped Marty, and he was attracted to her. She was like tough and spunky, kind of. And, you know, probably her red hair that they kind of had to bring up all the time. But he spent a lot of time with Bobby, which kind of pissed Lisa off. So Lisa decides, well, he wants his time with his BFF, and I want time with my BF. So I'm going to set his BFF up with my BFF. So she brings in her friend, Allie Willis, who is 17, I believe. And sets her up with Bobby. So as of right now, we got Marty, Lisa, Bobby, and Allie. Okay, so let's keep them straight.
Okay.
Allie was kind of this little rich girl who later on we learn has a little bit of a sordid hobby. And she would have these like extravagant pool parties, and she would hire limos and things like that for nights out with her friends. And Bobby was like Allie's dream come true because he is described as, like I said, good looking, charming, and the four of them hang out all the time. Well, one July night, Allie throws this pool party for her closest friends. And Allie, who is described as very beautiful. Now, in the documentary that I watched, current day Allie is interviewed in this. And I mean, I don't know, maybe prison was a little hard on her. But she was described as very beautiful, turned a lot of heads. And there was one guy in particular named Donnie Semenek, who kind of lusted after her for a long time. And he was a little pissed to be at this party and watch Bobby and Allie kind of head into a bedroom. Which, after hearing her description of these trips, I kind of feel bad for her, honestly. So they would kind of occasionally have this Donnie kid DJ parties. He really didn't have any aspirations. I believe at the time he's 17. He just wants to live life and have some fun. See how quick this is going? Do you see how quick this is going, Earth?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Okay.
Fucking psycho.
So, a few weeks after this pool party in July, Florida Crime Stoppers get a very disturbing anonymous call. I mean, you can tell it's a female caller, and we will find out who this caller is later. That says she has info on a disappearance, and somebody murdered him. And they actually play clips of the call, and there's actual audio clips of the different interviews they have with different people regarding this case. They murdered him, but the body hasn't been found yet, and the caller tells authorities that the body can be found between the two sand dunes at Weston Lake, which is a construction site. So
if it's a construction site, how come it hasn't been found?
It's by the construction site. Okay. All right. So, paradeputies are sent out to this construction site on the edge of the Everglades. Do we get it now? Okay. And they don't see anything at first, but they can smell decomp. So they move closer to the water, and they find a deceased male laying face down in the water. He is bloated. There's stab and slash marks all over, and his head has been, quote, brutally traumatized, end quote. Investigators are confused because they kind of at first think it's like maybe a robbery gone wrong, but once they start investigating the scene, they realize this was definitely premeditated. So the victim had been stabbed numerous times in the chest, the back of the neck, the stomach had been cut open, and his intestines were hanging out.
And a crocodile never came up and chopped
Well,
on him?
that's why he was placed where he was placed. Because
Hoping that he'd get eaten.
that they were hoping that the alligators would take care of
The rest.
and then no harm, no foul. Yep. So, yeah, his head had been hit with something hard, which we later do find it was a baseball bat. But none of these wounds is what killed this victim. He had water in his lungs, so he drowned. Yep. And as you can assume, he was tossed in where he was in hopes that gators would be hungry and maybe smell the blood and, come. I don't know if that's an alligator thing or just a shark. I'm not a gatorologist.
No, they like the thrill of the kill. They like them flailing all over the place.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's why. I don't know.
That's probably why they didn't eat them.
Okay, so they had to figure out who this person was. So they started checking missing persons report, and there was one that kind of matched up. That it was the person's dad that called in, and dental records confirm that this victim is Marty's BFF, Bobby Kent. Yep. Obviously, his parents were devastated. They describe Bobby as an angel. They don't know who would want to hurt him. And then they remember a phone call from the night he disappeared around 4 a.m. Marty calls the family home to find out if Bobby has made it home yet. So now police want to question Marty on why would you make this call. So Marty says that Bobby had went out on a date with this new girl that he met, described as the cute little country girl. But he didn't know her name or anything like that. He had no identification on her, kind of thing. He said he had called the home to find out how the date went. So, did this mystery woman have something to do with...
At 4 o'clock in the morning?
It was summer. And if I'm not... Bobby was 20, but a high school senior.
Oh, okay, got it.
I don't remember how old, if it ever says how old. And maybe it does. Maybe I didn't write it down, because maybe I didn't think it was important. It probably was important, though. But I'm assuming they're at least close to the same age. So, next, they question Lisa to see if her story matches Marty's story. And she says, I know he had went out with somebody. Because apparently by this time, Allie and Bobby had broken up. We'll get to that in a little bit. Horrific. But he didn't see her, just what Marty had said. So then she kind of says that she's not surprised that something happened to him because, he wasn't as nice as people thought he was. And then she goes on to describe him as a bully who uses his temper to control the group of friends. And by now, this Donnie kid who is infatuated with Allie is included in this friend group, and there's others brought in. There are if you actually look up the actual case, there are others that are involved, but they are not brought up in this documentary. I don't know if it's because maybe they played a smaller role or...
No role at all?
Well, they had a role. They did go to prison. But, in fact, I thought they had the one guy's last name wrong because there's two Dereks. So she starts talking about how Bobby, his temper was getting more out of control since the big news. The big news is Marty and Lisa are having a baby. Spoiler alert, this is Megan on TikTok.
Aww.
Yep. So Bobby blew his top. And as always, it seemed to be directed at Marty. Marty was kind of a very battered friend. Then Lisa starts spilling shit. She starts talking about how Bobby would control who would see their latest film, and he was showing her. And again, it doesn't. The documentary shows like him yelling, getting up, taking the laptop, throwing it in the pool, and then Marty gets up, goes after him. He starts beating the fuck out of him in the pool. It's a whole thing. So, Marty showing off this latest film. In the documentary, it shows to Lisa. He gets pissed, throws the laptop, blah, blah, blah. And then when another instance she gives is her and Marty are having adult time. And Bobby barges in on them and whips the shit out of Lisa for taking his friend away. So, needless to say, Bobby isn't the angel his parents make him out to be. And Lisa kind of, at this point, felt she was maybe in a love triangle because of how Bobby seemed to monopolize all of Marty's time. So, a new witness enters the police station. And this kind of sends everything in a completely different direction. So this witness, his name is Harry, and he had met both Bobby and Marty at the gym. They were all little gym rats together. And he says that Bobby was kind of dipping his toes into, like, the local gay scene. And he says that Marty told him that him and Bobby did have a sexual relationship. I'm not saying everything I've seen, but it doesn't seem like it was completely consensual, with Bobby being the aggressor. So the couple, Bobby and Marty, invite Harry to this gay club in South Florida called Copa. And while at this club, Bobby kind of decides he's going to start mixing a little business in with this pleasure, and he forces Marty to strip for the clientele of this club. And it was $100 per hour to have Marty strip for you, or $200 for all night. Now, poor Marty, doing all the work, gets 25% of this. He only gets 25%, and he's the goods. So, around this time that they're doing this, they decide they are going to make and kind of try to sell a porno. Obviously a gay porno. And it does describe this one that they were trying to sell that the police had seen that Harry kind of handed over to him. Now, Harry is the star of this particular movie. And it shows him performing various sex acts, and Bobby and Marty can be heard in the background kind of directing how this film goes. So again, this puts a whole new spin on the case. Unless you're tossing food under that door, we don't want it. So, again, this puts a new spin on the case, and there's pieces of this puzzle now that don't quite seem to fit. That the best friend says that the best friend Marty says that Bobby was on a date with a girl. Lisa's saying Bobby's a bully. Harry's saying Marty and Bobby were lovers. So right now their list of suspects kind of is Lisa and Marty. Lisa, because she was jealous of their friendship. I don't know if she knew the extent of their friendship. The one scene that I was hearing in the movie, it kind of seems like maybe because in the scene he barges in and pushes her off, and then, like, I don't want to get too graphic, but, like, spins Marty around and... Okay. So now we're going to bring in Allie, who is Lisa's best friend and Marty's now ex-girlfriend. She was involved in a high school prostitution...
You mean Bobby? She's dating Bobby.
Yeah. See, names are hard.
For you?
Shut up. So Allie was involved in a high school prostitution ring, and this dude kind of brings her in, so he's basically the pimp. She was 17 and servicing middle-aged men for $150 per session. And it wasn't that Allie needed the money. She did it for the shock value of being different and getting people to talk about her. So in Allie's interview, she says that Bobby was violent with her. Sweet one minute, monster the next. She said that Bobby was very clearly bisexual. Bobby would insist that they watched gay porn, obviously with men, before and during sex. She saw the movie that they made, and in a current interview, like for the documentary, she says that it was extremely graphic, and the things they had these men doing was demoralizing and disgusting. And if Allie would look away, he would slap her and force her to look. So she ends things with him because this is getting a little much. So, and it does play an audio clip of the police interview where she says, he asked me if I loved him. I told him no. So trigger warning, he rapes her. And she kind of has the opinion that he hated himself for his sexual orientation and took it out on everybody else, especially Marty, because, they were a thing. So Allie tells Donnie this. Lisa and Marty walk into the room, and she tells everybody everything that's going on, including the fact that Marty and Bobby have a relationship, and that Bobby rapes her. So this is now another motive for murder. So investigators now go talk, and I don't know where he came from in this documentary. They were and now they're going to go talk to Lisa's cousin, Derek. And Derek has a very weird last name. It's Dzvirko. Dzvirko. So when he gets there, of course, he seems scared. And then he tells police that Lisa wants to settle down with Marty, but she knows that Bobby will never allow this. He will always be right there to come in between them. And, the abuse... as Lisa and Marty got closer, the abuse from Bobby to Marty escalated. It got worse. So Lisa, and this is what the cousin is saying, that Lisa calls a meeting with Marty, Allie, Donnie, and Derek, and apparently the other two people included were also another Derek and a girl named Heather. But again, they are not mentioned at all in this documentary. So Derek claims that Allie came to him with helping her solve a problem. So police go back to Allie. Allie says Lisa plots the murder of Bobby. Lisa said he's making too many people miserable, and it's about time he gets paid back. And this is in an audio clip from the interview. He can't live no more. He's got to be killed. So essentially everybody wants to put the fear in Bobby that he was really doing to everybody else. So after this meeting, and their plan is to have Allie, who, kind of weird, they have Allie invite Bobby because, you know, she's accused him of rape, to meet out so they can all hang out. And then it's supposed to be where Allie and Bobby take a walk, like, towards the lake. And she is supposed to ask if there were alligators in the lake. Marty was supposed to come up and punch Bobby to kind of start the whole thing off. She asked the question, nobody fucking moves. So Donnie, who, remember, has been lusting after her for quite some time, he comes forward and stabs Bobby in the back of the neck.
Oh, that should have killed him.
But it did not. So what does he do? He calls for his best friend. So Marty starts to come closer, and everyone describes, like, you could see the relief in Bobby's eyes that Marty was coming to his rescue. Oh no. Marty gets him in the stomach. Yeah. So, Bobby is now holding in his stomach and basically his guts, and he's apologizing to everybody. Like, kind of late now, sir. But, so Marty responds to this by stabbing him 2 more times, and then tries to saw through his neck. By this time, Allie freaks the fuck out and heads back to the car. Well, as soon as she gets in the car and turns it on, headlights, and it shows her in the documentary saying, like, I turned the headlights on and you could see Marty doing this. Then he gets hit on the head with a bat. Now both girls are freaking out. Well, again, it's probably 3 of them, but they don't mention the other one in the documentary. So after Allie confesses, they're all arrested. I'm going to save you. They really didn't go into the whole trial thing, but Derek, the cousin, he gets 11 years in prison. Allie Willis gets sentenced to 17 years, serves just under 6. Lisa Connolly, because of her role, she gets life, but after an appeal, she serves just under 9 years. Marty Puccio gets life in prison, and Donnie Semenik gets life in prison. So obviously, Lisa's out, Allie's out, Derek is out. Again, I didn't do much research on the other 2 because they weren't mentioned. So Lisa's coworker, because they're dumb kids, they start talking about what they did. So Lisa's coworker at a fast food restaurant is the one that called Crime Stoppers. And the mystery girl never existed. It was just used as a cover of, you know, why he may have been out late. And that's why Marty called the family home to kind of maybe alert the parents. Like, I don't know. But, and again, if you want to check out his daughter's TikTok account, and she does very much talk about how they are trying to get her dad out. And I guess basically kind of using, like, the Menendez brothers' defense, like, he was a battered boyfriend, at the very least, friend. Like, he very, very much battered. So I know there was one posted the beginning of December. I think it was December 5th, Gary Allen's birthday. That something about somebody needed some emails and that he's very close to possibly getting out. And again, this happened, the murder took place on July 14th, 1993. So it's been some time. But you were born in 92, so 31 years.
Shut up.
Yeah, so very good documentary. And there was a couple other ones. There was like one on American Justice, and of course, like the episodes on Hulu did not go back to that season.
Yeah. That's one thing I hate about Hulu. They don't have all the seasons of every.
Yep. Well, American Justice didn't have, or nope. The series is American Justice, and Discovery Plus didn't have it, and neither did Hulu. So the only documentary I could find that had the episode on one of them was Murder Among Friends on Discovery Plus. And again, it was season 1, episode 2. Very interesting. Very interesting. Kind of sad case. And I mean, and there is a detective on there, like, talking about, like, what if, the whole what if syndrome on what could they have done different. Could they have
Press charges, turned them in.
right, like turned him in and maybe got him in trouble instead of them killing him and getting him in trouble, kind of thing. But obviously Lisa had the baby while they were both in the county jail awaiting trial. And she now has kids of her own. And she very much communicates very regularly with her dad. And
So her herself and her kids have a relationship with both of them, right?
yes.
Okay. So who raised her?
I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna assume grandparents or an aunt or an uncle kind of thing. Food! We want food under that door.
Food!
Someone keeps putting mail under the door.
I wanted to sing the Blues Clues mail song, but I didn't find it appropriate.
And there's actually one, because Megan, the daughter, has a fairly new baby, and she's making a TikTok on how she sent her mom a picture of this baby, like, kind of chilling, and she said he was watching Bluey, but it, like, auto-corrected to say Bully, and it said this scene in Bully, like, calms him down or something, and it was kind of weird because the movie made about it was Bully, and so yeah, she's very much, very, very, very active in trying to get her dad out. You know, me personally, with having a child on the way, I kind of wish they would have handled it maybe a little bit different, like distanced themselves, maybe moved away,
Yeah.
if that was possible.
Yeah,
Maybe,
because they had a baby to think about.
yeah, and you know, they did what they did. So, but yeah, it doesn't really go into if. Well, we know Marty is still in prison because of his daughter through TikTok kind of thing. But I don't know, who was it? Donnie? Yeah, because Donnie's the one that did the first stab in the neck.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, sad story. Because who knows? Maybe he could have got some anger management or just some counseling in general to deal with his, you know, like if he really was angry of the fact he was
but
bisexual.
What makes somebody be like that towards friends to begin with?
I mean, a lot of reasons. I would maybe upbringing, but it sounds like he had a good upbringing. So maybe the ex-girlfriend was right and he hated himself and took it out on other people.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Why do you hit me?
Bitch.
You just smacked me a little while ago.
Because I was laughing. It was, fuck you. Trying to paint a picture of me. Bitch. Wait to put off this fucking camera.
Are you going to make me trauma bond with strangers?
Yep. Little bitch. Take that Xanax. How?
Yeah, so that is basically the murder of Bobby Kent and the horrific story of what he did to his friends. And then what his friends did to him.
I mean, I feel like if anything, they should have smacked him around a little bit. You know, give him a taste of his own medicine.
Right. Yes, that I agree.
I wouldn't have would have said to do what he did to like Marty and shit, because I feel like maybe he'd probably enjoy that and it would have been too much punishment. But I feel like maybe you just like beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, like take the bat and like break a leg or maybe some ribs or
They're
something.
not on stage, Ma.
Well, break both legs then. Fuck, I don't know. Crack a rib, break an arm. I don't know, but like maybe start there, and then
He would have lived.
right, he would have lived. You wouldn't have went maybe jail for some assault, but you wouldn't have went to prison. You wouldn't have missed out on your child's life.
But at least she doesn't like hold a grudge or anything like that. She,
Yeah. So again, I do. If you're interested in the case and want to hear like from the daughter's perspective, again, it's Megan_Marty on TikTok, and it'll even say on her description, Marty Puccio's daughter. But
so she's pretty much she's proud of him.
Yeah.
Proud that that's her dad.
well, she loves her dad. Like that's
With some murderers, children just like change their name and pretend they don't fucking exist.
yeah. But I think with the history of the abuse and the control and things like that, it makes it a little. I mean, murder is never okay.
No.
Unless you're defending your family, your child,
Well,
yourself.
in a way, he probably felt like he was.
Maybe he did. But murder's not okay. Let's throw that out there. Murder is not okay. But maybe they felt they didn't have another choice. Obviously, there's always another choice. Always. But maybe in her mind, as the daughter of two people that were involved in killing somebody, and knowing what the what the history was, maybe she's like, he did it, but now he has served his time, and he was kind of
A victim.
maybe right. He was a victim, so he was kind of in a prison before he went to prison, sort of thing. So maybe would he be a danger to anybody else now?
I don't think so.
I think it would be unlikely that he would be, but you never know.
But we know he'd protect his kid.
Yeah.
And the mother of his kid. Cause are they even like still together? Are they like a thing still? Like
No. And I think it was when I looked up. Oh, I wanted to look to see who raised the daughter, but it doesn't say who did. But it does say that as of whatever date this was, Lisa was married with a 6-year-old child with her husband, plus her 19-year-old daughter with Marty. So, and she's much older than not much. Well, she'd be a little younger than you.
Yeah.
So she spent like the first, 9, a little under 9 years of her daughter's life in prison. And he has been in prison her whole life. So,
Yeah.
And you gotta kind of feel bad for her. And I can kind of see why she gets unhinged sometimes on there. But I did follow her for quite a while because it was an interesting case. And honestly, I don't know what took me so long to cover it because it was so interesting. But I've already got my next one picked out. I had actually started the notes for that one.
Yeah, I gotta get my eye on the game. All the hours I've been working, doing a half of a second and doing a full third shift 2 days in a row, then doing just a third. I've been doing nothing but sleeping.
I know.
And it's like I feel so bad because of my work schedule, I haven't spent any time with the kids.
Yeah. It's
I'm too overly stimulated. It's just, I don't want to be... Right now, Mike and the kids are gross. Get away from me.
fair. They're usually gross.
Like, get away from me. Like, don't touch me.
They're fairly gross.
Like, get away from me, Petrie.
But you remember when I worked third shift, I really didn't. Well, I was kind of opposite. I went without sleep so I could get shit done and do things. I still wanted to be, well, you were pretty much out of school or doing the whole Omni thing by that time. But if you remember, I would get out of work and take you and Julia to school. And
Yeah.
remember when I was sick and was singing Sweet Thing by Keith Urban?
Sweet thing.
I don't think my voice has ever recovered from being sick that time. I don't think it ever...
Probably because you kept singing Sweet Thing.
But because it was fucking funny.
That's probably why it never fully recovered.
It was almost like that episode of Friends where Phoebe's sick and singing Smelly Cat.
Yeah. But, it's been real difficult. Like, yesterday, granted, I didn't get up until they got home from school, but I was still up instead of sleeping that whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I didn't work yet,
No, that wasn't yesterday, because yesterday you left around 10 o'clock to go to work, because you worked from...
I worked...
You guys left at 11 o'clock. Or 10, a little after 10.
Yeah, because I got called in early.
See, your days are so mixed up, you don't even know. I remember, because I was like, what are you doing?
I got home at 10 o'clock last night.
Nope. You guys... I got home before you did.
Oh, yeah. No, I had to stay a little while and wait for,
Relief?
yeah. And left, came home. Surprised you were here already.
Yeah, we got out early. We had a breakdown.
Oh, well, go you. And I think I went to bed before you guys did, because...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you went straight into bed, and because I remember I went in there to ask you, are we recording tomorrow? And you said, yeah, what time? I said, let's do around 1. It's after 4.
Oops. That'd be my fault.
But, well, I was...
Sorry, I went to bed before she even did. And she was up before me.
Yeah.
That's just how bad it's been.
Yeah.
And I'm one of those people that I need sleep to function, or I'm not functioning.
Well, I don't know
Like
if sleep really helps with that.
Like, if I don't get enough sleep, or...
You tell yourself that.
If I don't get enough sleep, I feel sick. Like,
Yeah.
I feel physically sick.
If I'm overly tired, I feel nauseous.
Yeah. And then...
So you're welcome.
If I'm up for way too long, I feel sick.
Yep. That's
So
your body
why I've
telling you
been-
to go to bed.
Yeah, that's why I've been sleeping.
Yeah. So, on that, we will. Oh, PFC. Gotta talk about shopping. I mean, it's getting kind of late, so I don't know if you order now if it'll be here in time for Christmas. But you can always have a late Christmas party.
Yeah, you can have a March Mist like we're doing.
Yeah, that's what we do. We do Diet Christmas, and I've talked about that before, where we do Diet Christmas, and that's just enough so the kids have something. And then we do March Miss. And yeah, the last couple of years we've.
And the kids really seem to love it. Like, they don't complain about it.
No, they don't. They actually look forward to it because, I mean, they know they're still getting their Christmas. It's just a little later. I mean, I even bring down the tree for that day, and
Oh, after that, there's no point. There's no point. It's such a little tree. There's no point.
well, I've got another one, but right now I don't have nowhere to put it. So, nowhere to put it. So I'll probably be bringing down the 4-foot one and put on that table next to the door. So anyway, PFC. You got pfcholidays.printify.me. You got pfccreepysoup.printify.me. And you got the pfcstore.printify.me. Shop. Buy stuff. Stay away from Xanax. Don't trauma bond with people. That's our job. And if you don't get that, go back a couple of episodes and look at comments. Package was delivered.
This bitch. She really keeps FedEx, UPS in business.
And Amazon, yes.
And Amazon.
Look, I feel without me, would they have a job? Probably, but I know I'm guaranteeing they do.
There's Floyd making gingerbread house.
Okay.
So cute. I just love it.
So yeah, on that note, have an amazing week. And I think maybe our next episode we should do something like
Paranormal.
Christmas inspired.
Oh, yeah, because there has been murders on Christmas. So.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's do something Christmas inspired for our next one. Yeah, it'll come out before Christmas. So yeah, we'll do a Christmas inspired one. Okay.
Who's gonna do that? Is that gonna be you or me?
I've done two. It's your turn.
So you want me to do like? How about I do like a Christmas Eve crime, and you do a Christmas one. That way it's even.
I mean, I've done two in a row, so I don't know how that would be even.
Because you want to do Christmas.
Okay. All right, we'll figure it out. We won't involve them in that.
But we've been doing crime once. Why don't we do like paranormal this time?
We can figure that out. We'll figure out some paranormal Christmas shit.
Alright.
So until then,
Bye.